Steven.
Kevin.
David.
With our powers combined, we are the
Brothers
Board.
By the power of podcasting,
We have the power. Welcome back to the Brothers Born podcast. The three of us are back. BBP 3. That's pretty neat.
I'm not
Kevin loves
digging
it.
this. I'm not digging this BB3 neat, whatever it is you're saying. It sounds
BB8?
weird.
it's like some
There's
Star
only
Wars
three of
thing.
us, so
I know, David, get me back on this. BBP 3. Doesn't that sound kind of hip, kind of gangster? BBP.
It's kind of debatable.
What? You guys
Yeah.
just aren't cool. You're not hip, but I'm the youngest brother. I should know what's cool and what's not cool.
yeah.
So,
But you also play Dungeons and Dragons, so
hey, that's cool right now. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's a popular thing at the moment.
I'll go for it. Why not?
Well, BBP 3 Zombie. That's today's discussion. We want to talk a little bit about zombies today. If there's one thing Hollywood has beaten to death, it is the zombie apocalypse. Why don't we go around really quick and see how many different variations of this we could find? I'll start. Walking Dead, easy.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, David.
I'm Legend.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I would count that. Night of the Living Dead.
Cell by Stephen King. David.
Warm Bodies, I think it's called.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh,
28 Days Later.
my favorite book, World War Z. The movie was
World War
terrible.
Z.
I heard.
All right,
the book
David, your
was
turn.
good.
That's all I got.
Oh man. All right,
Dude, I'm
phased out.
not up on the apocalypses like you guys. I don't know much about zombies.
There's all kinds of books. Feed is a book. I do highly recommend, even though I know you guys aren't into Star Wars like I am. There are two zombie Star Wars books. One's called Death Troopers, and I don't remember what the other one's called. But combining Star Wars with zombies is kind of a fun thing.
That is pretty cool. I love a good crossover. Oh, Marvel, What If? The Marvel zombies. There's a bunch of those.
Yeah. Oh, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Oh, yep. There we go. Dave, did you have another one? I heard you speak up.
No,
there.
I don't.
Okay.
Sorry. I was
all right.
impressed
It's all
of the
right.
two that I came up with.
The point is that there's a lot of zombie junk, like Apocalypse Centers. Oh,
Zombie junk? That's not good.
no, Zombie Land. Zombie Land's
Okay.
another one. Those are
Oh,
actually
yeah, of
pretty
course.
fun. Those are actually pretty funny. Yeah. So the point is, there's a lot of video games and books and movies that have covered the topic. So
Mhm.
People love zombies.
I guess we're not
People
really
love
going
them.
to add a whole lot to zombie knowledge, so to speak.
No, probably
But-
not.
My question is, let's say, first of all, how does this zombie apocalypse, like, how likely do you guys think that is to actually occur?
Absolutely not likely at all.
You're not hoping to show, dude.
So
You asked me my
Here's my-
question. I gave you the answer. And how is it possible that zombies even exist? Some people, okay, they argue they do, but no, they don't.
Well, I mean,
there's that guy, Florida man, who like ate that person's face off, but he was just high on bath salts. So I don't think
Yeah.
he's not actually
so
a
that
zombie.
doesn't count. But I mean, I guess it's similar. I mean, usually, in the movies and games, the scenario is generally like a virus. I
Yeah,
read a book one time
usually.
where it was a result of, like, they were able to some found a way to cure the common cold, and somebody else found a way to, like, cure cancer, and somehow the two treatments combined together created the zombie virus. It was really bizarre.
That makes sense. That's science can back that one up.
It's a common thing, so you kind of wonder if there is any, like, realism to it. And for the sake of fantasy, I don't know, let's say, in our opinion, let's say 1 to 5, 1 being like not at all, and 5 being, yeah, that's definitely going to be the end. Where do we stand on this, like, individually? And obviously this isn't something that we're realistically looking at, but just for fun.
Like, what do you mean? Like, where do we stand on it actually being the end of the world? Or
No, like how likely it is.
oh,
I'm gonna have to go with 1 on that one.
Dave's on 1. I'm gonna go 3. I'll go right
Yeah,
down the middle.
I'm thinking 3 in the middle as well. I mean, potentially the way they usually present it is like it's a virus. So initially it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of viruses that do all kinds of crazy things. Why not? But
There's
I do
one
have
real
some.
There's one
Oh, go
real
ahead.
interesting take on it. When I read the book Cell by Stephen King, it actually comes through cell phone frequencies. They answer the phone. They're not actually technically zombies though, but they answer it in some weird frequency, makes them go crazy. Oh, the Maze Runner. There's another one. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But that's how that's transmitted through phone frequencies, which is kind of an interesting take on it.
So I feel like we're looking at if we look at it from like their undead sense. Another thing I kind of was wondering about, like, say the zombie apocalypse did happen, like how likely? Because in the movies and stuff, like you watched Walking Dead, that show's been going on for years and years and years. Zombies have been
Yep.
around for like
It's time to
forever.
end.
So my question is, are we talking long enough for like a baby to grow up to be like 12 years old? Like now the way I understand it with zombies is you're basically the living dead, right? I would think within a certain amount of time your flesh would probably rot and you wouldn't really be able to function as a zombie anymore. So
That's fair.
I don't think the zombie apocalypse would be a very long-term apocalypse from the zombies' perspective.
It depends how quickly it spreads, I guess. Like if you only got 1 or 2 zombies and you get rid of them, then it's over. If you do something like I Am Legend, where there's like thousands of crazy zombies running up on all the way up a wall to come get you, then you can't just get away from that.
Well, I get that, but like when they're undead and stuff, a lot of times, and that's another thing that's kind of bugged me about the zombie apocalypse things is like the zombies eat people, but when you get bit by a zombie, you turn into a zombie. So how do zombies decide which people are going to join their ranks, and which people are just going to be food?
I think the ones that
because they just want to eat. They don't care who it is.
Well, I know the way The Walking Dead did it was like everybody had this zombie virus like within them. So if you died, you just automatically became a zombie.
seems like a cop out to me.
Yeah. So if you died like of a different reason,
You still turn into one. I mean, zombies are always hungry. They're always like trying to grub on people, whatever. But maybe sometimes they don't get to eat the entire person. So consequently, that person becomes a zombie. And in David's case, I think in I Am Legend, correct me if I'm wrong, but they aren't like decaying in that. I think they're just like monsters. Like their flesh isn't actually falling off their bone or anything like that. So like they're zombies. I think there's a couple ways, a couple of series that do this actually. They're zombies in the sense they eat people, they're spread through infection, but they're not actually like flesh falling off their bones kind of situation. They're not slow cooker, if you will.
slow cooker. I like that. Either way, I think zombie apocalypse is probably not as a long-term thing, which is good for our first one. I feel like, I don't know, like let's survivability. What do you think the survivability rate of a zombie apocalypse would be for us?
All right, that's based on where we live each individually. Let's see. I live in Southwest Florida. A lot of people come and go down here, snowbirds and whatnot. Yeah, pretty good chance I'd get infected because there's a lot of transit going through, a lot of air traffic coming through my area. So I think my area would be hit hard.
Especially like in Florida, because like I think that would be a point where a lot of people would kind of transition through, because it's like on the coast. So people, be like, oh well, let's get out of here. Let's try to take a boat or something. I can see that.
I don't know. What about you, Dave? You live out in the country, bro.
I don't really live in the
be
country.
okay.
I work in the country.
But that's true. That's true.
I don't know. We always thought Corona would never come here, and eventually it did. So if you go with that, once it came, it hit us hard. I might not get hit right away, but once we did get hit, it probably wouldn't take very long.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know. I don't think. It depends how long term it is.
And how about El Paso, Kevin?
Well, I'd say El Paso is kind of a tricky one because we're right on the border of Mexico, and I feel like that would kind of play a part into it because a lot of people might come through there. But at the same time, we're kind of in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
So it's sort of remote, sort of not. Weather-wise, I think like given flesh is deteriorating, things like that, I think where I live the zombie itself would probably live the longest compared to where you guys live, because
it rains a lot
you guys
down
live
here.
in more like humid climates than I do. So, there's more stuff that could, add to the rotting, I guess. I also will say, maybe not. This probably isn't true for you, Steven, because you live in Florida and they're similar to Texas in this way. But for David, definitely this would be a factor. A lot more people have guns here than Ohio.
Well, David lives out in like the southern part of Ohio.
That's true.
I think there's more guns here than where Steven is actually.
Yeah, I would not be surprised by that.
Because
that's true. Because if we're looking at the city itself and not just like our state as a whole, yeah. We do have a military base here, a pretty big military base here. So that would definitely come
you'd be
handy.
ready to go.
My thing is, if in wintertime, it seems like zombies could live in winter better than summertime.
That's true too.
You guys don't have to worry as much when it comes to winter. In winter, I'd be more vulnerable for sure.
For sure.
Because I don't think they'd be affected by, like, when you put a piece of meat in the freezer, it lasts longer than when it's just sitting out there in the hot air.
In Ohio, you could leave stuff in your garage for a little while if it's wintertime and not be too stressed by it. It's pretty. Or like if you're going grocery shopping, you can run a couple errands after you pick up your groceries because it's still gonna be fine.
One of the things, I don't know how you guys familiar are you're all with World War Z. I don't know how many of you guys read that.
I've seen the movie. I didn't read the book.
Well, you have to read the book because the book's actually it's actually
way better right now.
Really good, yeah. But I think it was, or I might be thinking of a Zombie Survival Guide, which is written by the same guy. But there was a mention of how, like, the more Arctic climate stuff would have to deal with zombies for a longer period of time because zombies would like freeze and then they would like thaw out, but then it would freeze again. So I guess I could see that being a thing.
All right. So as far as each of us on an individual level, how likely you kind of hit on this a little bit. We talked about where our places of living and how we get infected. But how likely am I or you or David to survive?
Oh, I'm going to be dead very soon. I don't really have much chance.
See, because zombies.
As soon as I see one zombie, I'll probably be killed by him or her.
You reckon?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I feel like that's probably true with all of us. But I will say this is sort of how you get rid of a zombie.
Okay.
How you stop? You shoot it in the head, right?
Yeah.
Or you
set off.
Yeah. Well, the head's still alive then, though. You have to destroy the brain.
Okay.
Given tools and resources that are available to us right now, I think
I'm gone.
I think I would be most likely survive, just on account that the three of us, I'm the only one that has any firearms in the home.
I have a katana though. I have a sword, bro, and I could shock them. I'd be like Michonne from Walking Dead, like.
Yeah, but do you actually know how to use a katana?
I know how to stab things, dude. Okay, I can stab some junk.
Actually, you had a good point. I think I'll get into that in a minute.
Dave, you got lots of power tools, man. You can use a drill on them bad boys.
That's true. Dave's got power tools. I do have
power tools.
A couple of guns. Granted, I'm not the greatest shot in the world. That's the thing that always bugs me about, like, a lot of these zombie shows is you get like some guy who just somehow survives and give him like a little pistol and he's like an expert marksman with it. Not anybody can just pick up a pistol and become an expert marksman. Like, it takes practice. I for sure am not an expert marksman, and like, I've shot in guns for a while now.
And bullets are critical because you don't have a supply of them anymore.
Yeah, you definitely have a finite supply. And on top of that, you got to make sure you have the bullet that actually goes to your gun. So even then still, I think I've probably, because of my firearms, and I probably shoot a little bit better than you two do, that would probably help increase my survivability.
Yeah, I'm gone. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know. Your power tools, though.
Power tools.
How am I going to get for a power tool? You got to be right up on the zombie to get him. Dude, that thing would take a bite on me before I had a chance to even find my setting. Oh, let me get my drill bit.
And regarding
the big one on there,
the only advantage I have is I'd be like doing all I can to protect my family. Of course, so would you guys too. Yeah. But really, that would probably just mean them running away and me getting killed. So,
Now, here's this thing though, Dave. You live in a place that's a lot more green than where Kevin and I live. And we've all played Resident Evil. What if you come across a couple herbs, bro? You find a couple
That's
of
true.
herbs.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
grab
Dave's
that
got
thing.
more
Somehow
herbs.
you're healed.
That's true.
That is
You
true.
get the red ones, the blue ones, and the green ones.
I can't remember what they all do.
Now you mentioned your katana earlier, and I was like, oh, you know how to use that thing. But thinking about it, like, it's not like zombies can fight back, so I guess you don't really have to know how to use a sword to use one against a zombie.
They can't fight
You know
back.
the best way to survive a zombie is just
Go on a boat, live
just
on the
walk
sea.
away. No, just walk away.
How can you walk away? Because sometimes zombies, man, they run like 60 miles an hour.
That's
Some
true.
movies,
That's like in 1 or 2 movies. But
I am
usually
Legend,
they're
man. Those things scaled that wall in no time.
usually they're depicted as being like slow and dumb. Like they can't.
Well,
go
if that's the
upstairs
case,
and
then
stuff.
I would be fine. But if it's these super soldier zombies, then I'd be gone.
Super soldier zombies.
Yeah, I would just get away from the zombie easily, unless he found me in my sleep.
Southwest Florida does have a lot of gated communities. It's a big thing down here. I don't live in one, but I'm like, if I have a friend who lives in one, I can hook up with him and be like, hey man, let me stay at your place for a little while. I feel like that's risky though, because once they get in.
See, I was putting some thought into this. What would be the best place to relocate you and your group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse?
If you could live on the sea, like survive on the sea, that's the way you got to go. Like I find an island or something.
The problem with that, well, yeah, I guess maybe an island, but a big problem with that could be water, like potable water.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like
one of those, you have to get one of those machines that they have on Water World where you just pee in it and it turns it to regular water.
There it is.
I'm sure everyone has one of those on hand.
I mean, I could kind of see that. I mean, if you're on like a small island, yeah, I could kind of that would definitely help. That's gonna be hard for most people to get to, though.
Has to be an island on the fresh lakes.
He's got islands all around him.
I do have islands all around me.
That's true. You're pretty good there.
You don't have any islands down by you.
I have no islands at all.
I have a couple on Lake Erie, I guess.
So for someone who doesn't have an island, who doesn't have accessibility to an island, because boats are going to be hard to come by. What are some other things? See, so I thought of an idea of a location that I think would be actually a lot better than people let on. And it's not one people move, because people you think of, oh, I'll go to a stadium or I'll go to a military base. Those are dumb ideas. So if you break it down, what do you want? Okay, you want some natural defenses, right? Not necessarily natural, but you want some like good defenses that don't require you, like let's say a moat, for example.
Yeah, a castle.
Right? So a castle, but there's problems with the castle too. It's a pretty small area. All right, you want to be able to have like this area where you can grow food, right? Okay.
Unless you're, yeah, go ahead.
And growing food takes a while. So initially, to start off with, you want to have access to, like, say, animals or something. Well, that won't work. But you want to have like access, like, let's say, animals or something.
Hold on,
Walmart's probably the worst place to be in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, dude, that's the breakout happens in Walmart.
Because half the people in there are zombies already.
Yeah. So, but you want something that you can eat initially, right? Because it takes a while to grow food. So, like, let's say something where, like, a hunter would, if you have animals or something, that could probably help. So that's another thing to think about. It's also be good, probably idea to have access to some sort of medical supply.
You beat us again there. Well, both of you beat me on that one.
So I'm trying to think of a place that potentially has access to all these things.
Can I just serenade the zombies?
I don't know if that works.
With my musical skills.
What I came up with is the zoo, dude.
The zoo.
Think about it. You got like the little like bear enclosures. They usually have like that moat around there. So that's a natural defense. And usually they generally have like,
but see, there's bears in there.
Well, yeah,
so
but
they
I'm getting to that.
Kill you.
And so you have like a grassy area, which you could potentially use to help grow crops.
Until the grizzly bear rips off your face.
You have a plethora of animals that you could eat while you're growing your stuff.
Yeah, also, because I can catch up to a tiger and kill it. No worries.
No, but you just don't go in the tiger encounter. You kill like the bear. That could feed you for a little while. You can use that encounter, or the monkey encounter. Like you could use that. And then
Monkey
you have
Island,
like
bro. Best of both worlds.
That would be. I'd have to go to the petting zoo. That'd be the only animals I could catch.
And then you have these like predatory animals that, like, if you don't kill them right away, they could help in your defense as well.
Until the zombies turn them as well.
Oh, zombie animals. That changes things. You'd be screwed then in a zoo. There
Well,
are some.
yeah, obviously zombie animals were a thing, but I've only seen that occur in some locations. And of course, every zoo has veterinarians, so you have access to medical
that are now
supplies.
zombies.
No, but I'm saying they have they have like
Okay.
veterinarian supplies. It's not ideal for
Yeah,
humans,
you're right.
but it's at least something.
I
All
guess
right.
you're right.
You have some fair points there, Kevin. You know,
Yeah,
a
I
zoo
agree.
could be really good. I've said an island. Dave, what was your ideal situation for like escaping? Like, where would you go? Where would you
From
relocate to?
here,
Yeah, if you if you were able to get away, we'll say that you got your power tools, you got the first wave taken care of, and you beat one with your kid's plastic basketball hoop, whatever. Um, and
Awesome.
you finally get
I do have
away.
some
Where would
baseball
you?
bats.
There you go. Where would you
Um,
relocate to?
I would go. I mean, for me, it's just buy as much time as I can. I would go out somewhere towards where I work, like where there's all these farms and fields and
Oh,
not that
farms,
many
fields.
people. So I'd have to get away because if there's not people there to begin with, there's not really people that the zombies can turn. So they probably wouldn't come towards the less populated areas. So I'd get away from town where I'm now and just go to the farming communities and hide out there. There's acres and acres and acres you could be. Of course, I know that you have to deal with the native wildlife, but there's not that many. I guess snakes, but there's not that many poisonous snakes here. You might have to worry about a wolf or two or a fox, or foxes won't do it. No, I think that's probably what I'd do. The deer would be out there. You got to worry about them,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess.
dude. Lots of deer where you are for sure. Wouldn't go hungry in that regard.
I would just
But
drive around and hit them with my car because I've done that twice before already. So that's probably what I would
so
do, though. Just go to the least populated areas I could. Plus, when you're there, if it's the right time of year, you could live off the land um, as best you can. You might just get a bunch of corn and that's it. But
So,
usually, you know,
so David's getting a Walking Dead season 2 scenario going.
yeah,
sure.
that
I don't
that
know.
could work
I've never
too.
seen that show, but
I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, the only trouble you might run one of the couple things you might run into. This works for you as well, Kevin, and a little bit with me. People can get across the water. Is there are survivors still out there, and as we know from most zombie situations, for some reason when the world ends, normal human beings become vicious, horrible people. So
I don't think
they
that's true. I don't think that would
well,
actually happen.
I don't think so either. But for going off these scenarios, they do that, and so you might have some trouble, so to speak, with some people passing by. But all three of us have to face that obstacle. Like we have the zombie thing under wraps, like we got that taken care of. But the people, they still have a pretty smart brain.
Well, if I can keep a couple of those tigers alive somehow, that would definitely help.
For sure. And I could
yeah, as long as you
Just
don't
unleash
get,
the tiger. Dude, man, those guys are coming. All right, unleash the tiger, man.
yeah, but let's see, you unleash a tiger.
I don't know how
They
to keep the tiger alive though.
if you unleash a tiger and they see zombie meat or you fresh healthy meat, which one are they going to try to go eat?
That's true. So we'd have to go with like a pack of coyotes or something.
Unless you've become their ally and they trust you within the short amount of time that they've been under your control.
Kevin becomes a tiger.
Siegfried and Roy had their tigers forever, and one of them still got eaten up by it. So
I'm hoping at least one of the zookeepers who's like down and friendly with like the tiger or whatever is still alive. I'm hoping.
There's a lot of what ifs in your situation, Kevin.
There's a lot of what's in all these situations. All right, so let's say you're part of like a survivors group, like a survival group. All right.
Okay.
What role do you play?
Ooh.
um,
I'd be the scientist, I think. I'm not a scientist in the sense that I'm not, that's not what I do for a living, but I have participated in research before. I feel like I could use some of that to analyze data and take samples from the zombies. I'd try and get to the bottom of that. I'm not a virologist, but I think I could, as far as roles, I think I'd be the most comfortable there.
How useful would that be in a group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse though?
Finding ways to fight back and save the world from the zombies, like turn everyone back again, like they do in I Am Legend.
I feel like you'd be too busy trying to survive to be able to actually come up during your research with that.
are you saying what role would we have after the apocalypse is over or during it?
No, during. You're in a group of survivors.
Okay. I would be the one that freaked out probably pretty easily and then was the first one to die.
Well, I mean, that's a specific thing. So, because I'm thinking like
job would I
job-wise.
have?
Yeah, like job wise, because like obviously as a nurse, I'd probably play some sort of medical role in my group.
Yeah.
Um,
I have 4 lab coats, so scientist. Just saying. I'd be rocking
I
those
have-
things.
Just like a generic scientist, I don't think is a job.
I would be the one that tries to calm everybody, I guess. Like the
I
one,
can
Oh,
see
like
that.
a counselor.
Yeah, you
Like-
got like musical
like the
abilities
one
and
who,
stuff.
when people freak out, I'd be like, dude, just calm down. Like I'd be the one trying to keep people level headed, but usually that person dies pretty quick too. I don't think I really have any skills like the two of you do
Well, I don't know.
that
See,
would help me
because
with the zombies.
I feel like for David, I feel like for you, like, obviously people are going to have to, kind of, step away from what's around them, through some sort of entertainment. And you definitely have a lot of musical abilities, so you could help with the entertainment for sure. And
I
that's
suppose.
really an important role if you think about
Steven probably could help with that more than me, though. Actually,
I have all the recordings of the Brothers Born podcast. I just play that for everybody. All right, everybody, it's podcast night.
let's tell you a story.
it. And then you become zombie food because someone's like, I'm so done with this. And they throw you off of your into the ocean, off of your island there.
It was my lab coats.
With your lab coats. Take these lab coats too. But I'm a scientist.
I think-
All right, man.
I think I could be good at like taking care of the children in the.
Oh,
in
you
the
could do
area.
that for sure.
Like protecting them somehow. Not really because of my skills, but just because I think I relate well to kids. But so I think I could do that. But or like I could be like a teacher type, like
Oh,
when
yeah,
it comes to the
for
rebuilding
sure.
part of it. But like during it, actually, I don't know how useful I would be. So I think once people started turning on each other, they probably would turn on me the quickest and sacrifice me, I'm guessing.
So
But-
you're saying you'd be really good at running the not the zombie daycare, the daycare services during the zombie
Sure.
apocalypse.
For the short time that people allowed me to before they sacrificed me.
Yeah.
Threw me out there. Let them eat him. It'll keep him off for a little while.
If we're looking at zombie Hollywood troops, my question is, which one of us would be that person who gets bit by a zombie but doesn't tell anybody in their group and ends up turning on them in the last minute?
I think I would probably tell someone right away. I don't know.
Me
Maybe I
too.
wouldn't.
I would tell people, and then I'd go down in the blaze of glory, like go, and I'd like just wreck a bunch of zombie fools.
Yeah,
I would
I
tell
can
people.
see you doing that. Honestly, I'd have to say I'd probably be the one who would get bit and not say anything. Be like,
You think so?
"What's on your arm?" No, nothing. It's just a cut.
Just a flesh wound.
And people are like, "Okay," they just automatically trust me for some reason. And then at the last minute, we're like trying to board the helicopter or whatever it is we're doing, and then suddenly I turn,
Oh no.
fighting
That'd be-
people.
See, for me,
Sorry,
I
guys.
can't really keep secrets that well. So I probably, maybe this one would be more because it's life and death, but I don't think I would be able to keep it for too long.
Kevin, you're like one of those anti-vaxxers. Then they go with no mask into a very populated area.
I mean, I do live in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know. I would probably tell them automatically and then get kicked out. But I don't know. If the zombies were right there, I might not. I might try to get away without telling them.
I could definitely see Steven being the guy who's like, "Just go, just go."
Yeah, dude. Blaze of glory.
Dude, if I was the Blaze of Glory guy, I definitely would have to do. Like you have I'd have my gun, and I'd be shooting and like just go, and I'd have one bullet left, and I'd have that moment of decision where I can either use it on myself or kill one more zombie, and I'd like hold the gun to myself, and I'd be like, man, screw it, and I'd shoot one more zombie, and then I'd go down.
So
No, it'd be tough though to like. I think I would shoot myself. I wouldn't want to be eaten up by zombies, dude. That sounds like a
Yeah,
painful way to go.
I wouldn't either. I just feel like out of three of us, I'd be the idiot who probably would still do that, provided I didn't hide my bite and kill everybody.
if you just turned though and they didn't eat you, even though you killed one more zombie, you just replaced it with yourself. So you're better off just like
That's true.
taking yourself out, man.
That's true, but
That's
that heroic guy always dies, like gets completely devoured. Ever notice that? Like the heroic dude gets completely devoured,
He
but like
screams
the
very
jerk
loudly.
dude just like maybe that's how the zombies know you're a jerk. So they're like, you know what? Let's just make him a zombie, but not completely devour him because he's definitely gonna help us out. Whereas like the nice people, they're like, man, that guy's not gonna do any good in our horde. Let's just go ahead and eat him.
So
I don't know if zombies
a
are
re-
really intelligent enough to make those quick decisions, but maybe they could probably just tell.
It's an instinctive thing. They do it instinctively.
in the Walking Dead, the way the zombie thing works, the science. This I actually really liked this. They had a little bit of science to back it up. They die, and then all the way up to the cerebellum regenerates, but like the higher functioning parts of the brain do not regenerate. So that's why they can. Because cerebellum's like what gives us our motor function, lets us to walk and stuff.
Okay.
So that's why they can do that. It's kind of so they explained that, and it's still very much science fiction, but at least they had something, not just like, oh, back to life again. I don't know, cancer, cold drug making people zombies.
I also like how in The Walking Dead, like the rate in which someone returns and becomes a zombie is highly dependent on like storytelling. So like
Yeah, for
nobody
sure.
does it instantly. Like some people, get a chance to like get to say their goodbyes and stuff before they turn into zombies. Other ones just turn to a zombie right away. It's like no consistency.
That's
It
true.
depends on their system, their immune system. But
I just know
right.
I'm going to start looking for some herbs now.
You found an herb. Would you like to smoke it? So Resident Evil is crazy though. They got this goes beyond zombies. At one point in time, I was watching a recap. I didn't play all the games, but Resident Evil 6, there's like a giant dinosaur. A guy turns into a giant dinosaur. There's like an evil clone. It gets weird, but I don't think that's going to happen in this situation.
Well, you said
2.
dinosaur, so I'm thinking for our next one of these dinosaur apocalypse. What do you guys think?
Sure, I can get behind the
that's fine.
dinosaur. How would the zombie apocalypse end?
Honestly, I think all the zombies would just die off.
You think so?
But let's say, I have this whole thing where I think it'd be interesting if one apocalypse created another. So let's say, I don't know how the zombie apocalypse created dinosaur apocalypse though.
Hold on. Got it. I'm on my island doing my scientific research. And life has a way, man. Life has a way. And I find some old egg. I'm like, this is cool. I don't want to eat it. Everyone wants to eat it. Turn it into an omelet. I'm like, no.
What is your island, Jurassic Park or something?
Yeah, I have an island.
I'm just trying to figure out why you would be like, man, this egg is cool. Let's just like,
hold on.
There's a zombie apocalypse going on, but I really like this egg.
So me and a team of researchers and a couple other survivors were on this island, and we find an egg. And we're like, we think maybe there's a cure to the zombie virus within this egg. And then we put it through a bunch of tests.
Or you would just get hungry and fry it on the fire.
Well, I think what you're kind of going with this and how I see it is like research is done to try to end the zombie apocalypse, try to bring life back to the living dead so that they become like, normal again. And in that process of that research, you're out of mice or whatever. So you're doing it on like reptiles initially. And somehow this results in dinosaurs coming back to life.
I live on an island full of reptiles. Because I don't know. There's probably
that
some
could work.
Yeah. There's an island off in Australia that's full of snakes, and it's just tons of snakes. Not that one, but there's a similar.
So you and your team are working on genetic research to bring life back to the dead, and a side effect of that is that you accidentally cause dinosaurs to come back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little far-fetched, but we'll go with it. I'm down with it. So, yeah, research to cure the zombies results in zombies, or not zombies, results in dinosaurs coming back.
Now, it's really important that we establish where the world has returned to by the time this actually becomes a thing. Because if it's already wrecked and destroyed from the zombie apocalypse, can we say, for the sake of the discussion at least, that the world's back to like some sort of sense of normality?
Well, the thing is I think with the, like, if we're going to do dinosaurs next, I think the less modern we are, the better, on the account that it would play a factor into fighting dinosaurs. Because obviously, if you have like tanks, dinosaurs might not be that hard. But we'll get into that next time.
I think it's a good plan. All right, cool. So the zombies are taken care of somehow. I did. Someone found a cure, not me. I found a dinosaur problem, but and so the zombies are managed now. Maybe there's a couple little ones hiding out here and there, but we'll say for the most part, we've bounced back.
Except for Kevin's 2 zombie tigers that are about to destroy him.
Yes.
But, we still haven't been able to develop, technologically speaking, back to where we were, because, the world is wrecked from the zombies.
And so now we're living in this world where dinosaurs might actually thrive.
Thanks to Steven. It's all his fault. Now dinosaurs are starting to come back.
Somehow it all started because I love ears. I was messing around with dinosaur ears. I don't know how that translated into.
That sounds kind of whatever, dude.
I don't want our audience to think I'm some brilliant scientist. I'm definitely not. I just worked at a place that did science.
I don't think you have to worry about anyone thinking that about
I'm pretty sure you don't. Man, like me. If here's an egg, let's not eat it or anything. Let's just, look at the ears of the creature that's inside. Oops, dinosaurs.
Okay, it's not just me. There's a team of researchers. All right. All right, this was fun. I'm excited to see what the
listeners are going to think all of us are experts on zombies and dinosaurs.
David's some like legit entertainer. I'm a scientist, and Kevin's like a marksman. And we're like, everyone has this new image of us. And like, wow, brother's born.
But I'm also a nurse. That's a good combination. I'll be a marksman and a nurse. Dope.
That's pretty good.
Wait, are we all together now in this scenario? Or are we still in our separate areas?
Are we living on the zoo, or are we living in the?
So I'm in the zoo. You're still on your island. David's out in the country somewhere on his tractor.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. I think it'd be interesting to see how our stories converge as we go through these different apocalypses. All right, gang. This was fun. See you next time.
All right. Adios.
Hey everyone! Thanks for listening to episode 2 of season 3 of the Brothers Born podcast. This was the first installment in our Apocalypse series. We talked about zombies. Hope you enjoyed it. What do you think? Who would you be in the zombie apocalypse? How feasible is it to you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can email us at brothersbornpodcast@gmail.com or check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/brothersbornpodcast. We want to give a special shout out to Julian Tremure for the episode art for today's episode. You can check out his work at unsplash.com or the Unsplash app. All right, everyone. Stay tuned for next episode. We'll catch you later.